Ilios. Ooh. I've been struggling a lot on Ilios recently, personally. I don't like Ilios very much. I think Ilios is really not great. For Junkrat, what rank are you right now, did you say?
I'm Diamond 2 now.
Okay, that's big. That's good. Where do you think Junkrat should be playing on this point? What are Junkrat's strengths, and how can you make use of that here?
On the top of the balcony or the church thing on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Here, yeah.
Can you tell me
Rotate
why?
this side. Because I can go back for the team, get heals or support the team behind, and I can poke.
Hmm. This is a
On the other side
viable
of the enemy
option,
team.
but I don't know that it's necessarily the correct answer. Sure, going back to being able to go back to the team is nice. Poking, I think you just mean like pressuring them. What I wanted
Yeah,
to hear you say is
pressuring.
that you are a relatively close range, off angle, and obviously it's high ground, which gives you cover, right? If somebody's down here,
Yeah.
they can't shoot you because of this corner, and then you can easily decide when to shoot them. It's much easier shooting downwards than upwards, right? So this is a close range, like angle, almost flank, right? Essentially a flank. You know, if maybe there's like tank and tank, you're kind of flanking. So it is going up here gives you high ground and gives you a short range angle onto the enemy team. In return, however, this is very open, right? If they have a Pharah, if they have an Echo, if they have a Cat, any of them can bully you for free, right? If there's an Ashe over here or an Ana over here, they can shoot you for free, right? So when you do go here, it is very important to scout first to make sure you're good to go. Don't go with 0 conks, right? Go with at least 1 conk spare. Make sure, you know, there's no one there looking at you. Other viable options on this point, honestly, this is probably the best point for Junkrat out of the 3 Ilios points, because you can also play in here / down here.
Inside, yeah.
I often start up here or try to get up here early, drop to the minion, then play in here when I get pressured off. So I'll start here and rotate, you know, this way. You can alternatively try playing cage. I wouldn't, or left side. You know, I wouldn't play here first point probably. You know, first fight. I would try right side. I think right side is typically a bit more beneficial. But maybe, you know, if they win the first fight and then right side's a bit, you know, contested, maybe they have a Pharah, right? Then you can definitely play left side.
Okay.
Because again, or not again, rather, because just like downstairs, it is a small enclosed area. It gives you angles, not as short range as right side, but it does give you angles, and it gives you opportunities to rotate, right? You have ways to walk out, right? You have ways to go to other places, right?
Fair.
So it is both of these are flexible. One of them has a better reward and higher risk. The other one has a lower reward and lower risk. Unless, of course, there's a Cassidy and a Genji walking into here, but you know, it doesn't matter. You get the point.
Yeah.
So. Oh god. It didn't break.
I really don't remember this game actually.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Has anything happened yet? No, we're good to go. You're on F2. So I don't like the spamming that we're doing, because it is essentially just extremely low chance gambling, and then we jump forward with a conk. Jumping forward with a conk isn't necessarily a bad idea, a bad plan, but instead of spamming, what you could have done, right? Let's see how long you spam for. Oh, I went back to 4. Okay. So here you have your second conk, right? You're stuck on 2 conks, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could have had another conk. So if the moment you got your second conk, you just placed it right here, right on the floor, then did your spamming, maybe you peek here a moment, maybe you just wait, right? then you can jump in and have two
triple
conchs
mine.
ready. You don't necessarily need a triple mine. You just need a mine in, or you are able
Yeah.
here to mine in with two conchs ready to go rather than with one conch ready to go. So why wouldn't you do it with two conchs ready to go, right? So for example, if we had done what I said, we could have thrown a conch towards a sigma for a little bit of extra damage. Otherwise, we could have also jumped. If our plan was just to jump up here, we could have jumped earlier instead of spamming, right? Spamming doesn't really do much, at least in this situation. Here, it's a little bit better because you can properly see where they are. You're not just spamming randomly into the air. You're spamming an area where there's multiple people. There's AoE damage. It's okay. I would prefer if you tried to close the distance a little bit sooner, but it's fine. We are at 59 seconds. I need to go change the colors again on my settings, because right now your teammates are the wrong color. I have to switch this like every single time I do a VOD review because it fucking swaps every time. Okay. History, replays, Ilios, view. Too far. So yeah, just in general, at the start, spam isn't very helpful. Just try to find your position before you start shooting. I think we're being very scared and we're being very passive. I wouldn't have minded if we just sort of tried playing in here, shooting, right? We can sort of jiggle peek this right into the room. We can shoot at the Cass. We can shoot from here. It's kind of far and it's kind of passive. So I don't mind you going here if it's in order to like go up here, right? In order to rotate. But I have a suspicion. I should have made my prediction first and then seen. Yeah. Because now we're kind of just down main with our other DPS, and we almost hit the crazy kill, but that would have been easier to hit if the Echo wasn't looking at us, or if we had a better position, and the Echo's guaranteed looking at us if we're just stacked at a main behind our tank, right? She might not be looking at us if we're on some other position, right? And obviously, if you're on a higher ground, it's easier to hit. If you're in, there's ways you could have made that easier for yourself. And then maybe you do hit it, right? Because you almost hit it right there. Let's go forward a bit. Okay, we're kind of just chilling, waiting for conchs. Okay, I like this. This is good. I like this. We waited a bit to have our conch. I don't like that you throw the conch out immediately, but at least we start building another one, so it's fine. It's like fine.
I threw the conch now because I thought he was gonna peek again.
That's fair. That's fair. It's I don't think I would have, but it's not like you've made a grave blunder or something. It's just like small, minor thing I would have done differently. We have an off angle, right? We have, right? This is sort of where their core is, right? Our Diva's coming in through here, our Kiri's in here, and you can either shoot from here or from here, right? Like this, right? So the fight is going to be happening somewhere around here, and we have a lot of angles. This is good. This is good. Your job here as Junkrat is not to die. Don't overpeak. Don't, be ready to leave if somebody pushes you, right? Keep a conch, leave. Yeah. Because a Sigma walking on you will probably kill you. And while living, you want to put out as much pressure, as much damage from here as you can. Right? You have really high damage at close range. So use that, right? Make sure to do the high damage. This is too far out. Now we're not in the small enclosed area anymore. We've walked out way too far. Here we've overpeaked. Now, do we kill the Cass maybe at least? Are we better? We live, but we forced out our own Suzu, right?
A Suzu, yeah.
our team would still have Suzu if needed if we hadn't done this. Now, in return, maybe we're just the fucking goat, right? Once you are here, I don't mind this. It is kind of the same as earlier. We have a short range off angle, but this is much riskier than in here. In return, yeah, I guess we can just walk out and kill a Mercy that forgot we were here. I think from here, I maybe would have preferred if instead of going in like this, right? You know, just looking at the sig, we would have tried maybe like this, right? Peeked out here, or maybe even rotate all the way around back here, right? We can use one conch to jump up here. And then from here, we have a good angle onto their backline, right? We have, you know, we can make the cassidy turn around, we can make the Ana turn around, and the Mercy was also still here, right? So you go forward and you get the pick. You kill the Sig who's low. And you have 150 health and no cooldowns. We are winning the fight, but... And so I understand that you want to finish it out, you know, get the 3k. The thing here is you already killed 2. Just chill. Just sit back a moment. Just live, right? Because if you die, then you won't be fully set up in the correct position, maybe, that you want to be in for the next fight. Right? So be careful, be very careful not to take too much risk or dying to clean up, right? Yeah. Okay. So what is going through your head right this moment?
Now or in the game?
Both. Now as if you were in the game. Otherwise in the game, if you remember.
Oh, now in the game I should go top right.
Exactly. Pre-fight positioning. You wanna in between fights, you wanna take a position, right? Okay, well we see the Sigma Flux. We see the Sigma, not Flux, Grasp. So maybe we stop shooting after that. It doesn't matter. But see, now we're sitting on 2 conchs and we are stacked down main with our Emre. And okay, we go for the clip, which is fine. I don't mind that we're going for the clip. I do the same shit. But if we go for the clip, right, we need to be smarter about it, right? We can't go in from main where we pick Cassidy, Ana, and Sigma, and we have a hard shot to hit, right? A very hard shot to hit. We also pick the Echo. Yeah, obviously. We also sat on a conch for a while. So if you're here and you think to yourself, I want to jump and kill the Echo, throw your conch over here, right? From where you are, just toss it over there, right? And then while shooting, walk over here, jump in from here, right? Do you see the difference jumping in from here, right? Maybe you collapse on the cast instead. You hit with the melee, or you just deal a bunch of damage. Maybe you kill the Echo, especially because now she would have kept walking. You can even double mine from here, right? So maybe you do one mine to get like a little bit of height, like over here. You sort of half slide on this. You toss the mine behind you. You go over here, and you can shoot right at the Echo, who would be sort of on this bridge here, maybe, right? Do you see what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So I don't mind the idea, but we need to approach it from the correct direction. And, you know, to avoid as many enemy sightlines as possible, right? Another alternative is, you know, you walk back here and you throw the conch this way, and then you jump in sort of from over here. It's a bit worse because, you know, they can still see you, but you have the trees and it's like a farther sightline. So I wouldn't have minded because, like, maybe you can jump like over here. So you go, hold on, I'm gonna draw it. Maybe you can jump like over here. And then like shoot at the
on top of the
you can stall here infinitely, fun fact, but like you just kind of jump onto this and then do the combo onto her and then like sort of fall here and walk away, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think from here is definitely the best way to approach that. Now obviously if we're not going for the clip, we should have been set up on high ground, but you already said that yourself, so Okay. So, perfect. I was about to say, we have no resources, we have no health, but we're safe. Go for the tire.
Tried getting the Mercy.
You have the Nitro Boost perk, right?
Oh, at that time, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, you do. It offers you to. Yeah, you
Oh,
have
I
the
do.
perk. Yeah. So instead of walking forward, what you can do, and just in general, what you can do with tire is you could have climbed up the
Yeah, yeah.
lighthouse or the windmill, and then from there try to. I don't know how
Boost.
tire actually interacts with these propeller blades, but you know maybe you just jump from here and then boost towards her. Yeah. And we want she's in Valk, right? The skybox for this map is maybe I don't know, around here-ish. I'd guess, I'd wager sort of this height of like the camera. So she can get pretty high up, right? It might not be possible to kill her. I think it is still good to try to aim for her, but if we fail, there's those right over there, right? Like, we're not confident that this is going to kill, right? She's not on our camera. So I would prefer if instead of popping it, you just drop down here for plan B and killed like the Cassidy or the Ana. Maybe both if you get lucky. But yeah. Another thing about Tire is that you used it and you walked directly and you popped at the moment that you thought maybe something could die. Tire is really loud. There's a lot of visual aggro to Riptire, right? It's one of the loudest voice lines in the game, and as it's driving, it does this constant sound, right? And even Nitro Boost does a big burst of that like tire screeching, right? So you can make use of that. Everybody's scared of Tire, right? When Tire's around and they don't know where it is, they need to play careful, right? So Tire sort of inadvertently creates space because everybody's more aware, everybody falls back a little bit. So if you delay the popping of your tire, either you go for a kill immediately, right? Which you tried, but what you can do is you can delay it for 1 to 2 seconds on your body. You can stall it somewhere as you're, going to get like the scouting, right? And just making the duration of it last, from 3 to like 5 seconds will give a little bit extra value. Because people will be scared for a while, especially something like an Ana, right, who probably is traumatized from Junkrats, killing them at some point. So yeah,
have nothing to do.
Solo tiring them all game. Also, one little thing: instead of tiring here, we can tire like back here. It's whatever, not a big difference. Just like slightly better cover. Do you have any questions so far?
Not a question, but something I want to say is the tire. I've been working on my tire really good the last couple of days. I've been trying to learn the tire hop. I've been going to Coliseum and just spamming tire hops on Coliseum.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you, or are you getting there?
Can you show me?
I can show you. Now I don't do it perfectly. I will preface, but here I can go into Vaxter to have a clean wall. It's like a double jump essentially is what you do.
Yeah, I just spam space sometimes, but it is a double space.
Spamming space will have it work half the time, maybe like 3/4 of the time. It's not the worst way to do it if you're not very comfortable with it, but it's obviously better to just get used to it. Now I'm not great at tire spamming at wall jumping. Okay, so jump. You right as you start going upwards, you see this like little burst before it starts like.
Oh yeah. Wait, can you invite me to the game? Wait, I'll go and try it.
Make sure that you're actually physically touching the wall when it happens. When you go for your space bars. Sometimes I do it like a split second too early.
And I changed the DPI before doing the tire. I don't know, just
if that helps you, yeah. I can't do that on my mouse, so I don't. But if it helps you, you're welcome to do it. I just start moving my hand more. In the recording, you can use the sound of my space bar to time it correctly if you want.
Okay.
What is your user? JUNKRAT. Yeah. And then
JUNKRAT.
ultimate. Yeah, okay, here. Just to find the timestamp back. Okay. Nice crosshair, by the way.
Thank you.
Same thing as before, right? If we want to go for the clip, make sure to have a bit more resources, right? So right now, oh, I accidentally unselected you. Right now, we have half health, and we're going in with 1 conch and like a quarter because of the travel time. If we had just put the conch down, waited even 2-3 seconds, gives us more chance of having that second conch available. And then also, obviously, we'd prefer to approach from a better angle. So instead of going from, at the very least, instead of going like this, try to go like this. So you have a bit of cover, right? As you're jumping,
Okay.
right? So it's a bit harder to shoot you. Always try to envision what the like best angle to approach from is. Now, you fucking dunk on that guy. Good job. But after this, I like shooting the Sigma once and meleeing, but we have 100 health. We cannot be walking into the Sigma like this. We need to chill. We just gotta pick, right? We just gotta pick.
Yeah.
It is 4v4, right? Because they also gotta pick. If we die now,
yeah, they got
the pick we got worthless because we've just made it a 3v4, right? We have ults that we're trying to use, right? So if you just chill, you fall back, you live, which you don't because you're in front of a Sigma at 108 health. If we're just living here, right, just waiting, we can shoot the Sigma shield, right? We can try to bounce and deal like 200 damage, right?
Okay.
Living and like when you're AFK to live, essentially, you're essentially dead, right? The difference is that instead of coming back 20 seconds later and like, you know, mid to low movement resources, maybe 18 seconds, 17 seconds, right? You will be back like 8 seconds later, 10 seconds later, right? And in the meantime, and you will also have high movement resources, right? Because you probably have both your conchs, maybe even have a conch set up. And in the meantime, we can do things that provide a little bit of value, like shooting the Sigma shield, trying to bounce to deal 30 damage with the AoE explosion of the conch, right? We can get that tiny value while coming back, you know, being able to provide full value again sooner. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, whatever.
What
it's
should
fine.
have I done there exactly?
Is
there like
there's an argument to say
done?
that you shouldn't be walking forward in a straight line because you see the echo and that makes it really easy for her to hit all her stickies. So, you know, maybe you just walk a bit left, strafe a bit, but it's like, it's whatever. I don't actually care. Are we the GOAT? We're not the GOAT. Okay, we're not Kirkmeister. The fight was already lost. We were by the time we got to the fight, it was already lost. So what I would tell you is to have known the fight was already lost and not engaged, but I do that shit all the time. Before you come to the fight, try to, you know, keep an eye out on who's alive and who isn't. What's the numbers advantage right now? Are we losing? Is the fight lost? Is the fight winnable, right, before you engage? Just kind of, you know.
Okay.
Okay, so we switch to the Cass.
Yes,
What changes? What changes when we're on the Cass?
The Mercy and the Echo are like scared now. We have 2 hit scans.
Sure.
Those tape protected. Don't fly up too high.
Sure. So you exert more pressure over their flyers, essentially. You have much more pressure over their flyers.
Yeah.
Compared to Junkrat, what kind of positions does Cassidy want to take?
Flanks, basically. More of a...
I mean, like every DPS wants to flank to some extent. Cassidy can be it doesn't need as much to be in constrained small spaces. He can afford to be in the open a little bit more because he has much more range pressure. Right? His fall off range is pretty bad for him. You know, he has pretty high fall off range. or pretty low fall off range and high fall off. But in return, you can shoot them in the first place, right? And the angles Cassidy wants to take can be a little bit more distant than Junkrat, right? You have more range than Junkrat, even before fall off, right? You're effective at a longer range. So that's kind of it, honestly.
Yeah, don't mind my aim.
Other than that,
I have
shoot.
a really bad aim.
It's fine. I don't care. Other than that, shoot at the enemies from your angle and don't die. Use your movement as necessary. Use your mine as use your bomb as when it makes sense. So yeah, I like this. I don't like where we roll. I like going up to the high ground, right? The Sig on peak, so we're not too worried. Instead of rolling into the high ground or off the high ground, we can just roll into here. We're just safe here, right?
Yeah.
Alternatively, you can say that you wanted to go over here, but yeah, because we don't necessarily want to stack with our second DPS, but okay, so I don't actually hate this. I actually don't hate going main here because we are engaging from somewhere. We have a DPS on another angle. Okay, not really. He's running away from nothing. And we have a DPS on another angle, right? Well, not really, actually. It's a bit... I think it's fine. I like this. Personally, I like this. Our Winston's going in. We're going main. We can hug the wall a little bit more for, say more jiggle peeking. That's fine as well. I don't like this. This is where like Cassie's fall off range matters. We're shooting like the echo's too far away from us to get full damage, and there's a cast down here that isn't too far away to get full damage. Right? So if we're contesting that cast or just shooting the Sig, we're going to be giving more value than shooting the mercy pocketed echo all the way back up in the sky. Right? Shoot. There's target priority, right? And you're absolutely correct that an echo is typically easier to kill and should be and is a higher priority than shooting at Sigma. However, we can only shoot, right, at who we actually deal damage to, right? As simple as that sounds, we need to be shooting at the targets that are within range for us. Also, we have 80 health. Fall back from the Sigma. I don't know why he didn't kill us. But yeah, so now we can shoot at the cast. Sure, good. I think you die here because you sit in this area too long. You kind of just sit around here shooting like a little bit. I'd like to see you rotate a little bit more on cast because cast is pretty slow, right? You only have your steps, you only have your legs and your roll. So it's very important to sort of often, whenever you're not shooting at something, try to walk somewhere where you can shoot something. Okay. Any questions about the cast so far?
No.
Okay. So, this is the point I hate. I hate this point. With a passion. It's so bad. Where do you think you should be playing as? Or where do you think you should be playing as Cassidy on this point? Right?
Cassidy? On the Mega.
On the Mega?
Yeah, like the platform of the Mega. Somewhere to the right. Kind of here, yeah.
Yes and no. I don't know, okay? I don't play Cassidy, right? I think my gut reaction is that if we're playing over here, right? If there's an Ana over here, if there's an Ana over here, if there's a, echo somewhere up in the air, right? Anywhere up in the air, we are too far away to shoot at them while they can shoot at us. We have the Mega, but that's one heal. That you get healed once, right? So it is full heal, but it's still only heal once. So I think this is a little bit too open and too spacious for Cassidy. It's obviously better for Cassidy than for Junkrat, but my point stands, I believe. Now maybe you'll tell me I'm wrong, or maybe you'll play 100 games and figure out I was completely wrong. I think I would prefer for Cass if you walked left side. You can either walk like this, you can walk like sort of here, you can walk here. I think I would like if you walked with your tank sort of main-ish, shoot a bit, and then walk in here. And then from in there, you can kind of like jiggle peek, you know, shoot the Sigma, right? Maybe you can walk forward. If the Sigma backs off, right, you can walk forward. If the Sigma doesn't back off, you can kind of keep shooting the Sig, you know? You can shoot the Mercy or the Echo if they get closer, right? Because if they start coast and there's nobody to shoot at, right? If you're here, they can just shoot at you, right? If there's no one to shoot at, they're going to have to get closer. And now suddenly, they're within your range over there at where the little drawing is left, right? If they have to go over here, right, to shoot at someone, they might be in your range again. So by playing left, I think you play in a further away spot from them. You play in a spot where they have to get closer, I meant to say. Despite initially being further away. Assuming they go to the Mega. Which, yeah, she's over there up in the air. She's looking to poke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we're kind of, you know, just face planting into the Sig and taking a lot of damage because of it. Okay, so now everything's a little bit different because their Sig, instead of like walking main, right, has walked high ground, which is fine, which is good for him. I sort of expect everyone to go here. Now that the fight is happening, you know, sort of over here, let me get a better viewpoint. Now that the fight is happening over here, maybe back here where I initially told you to play is too far away, right? Our core is here at the moment, right? Our Winston is probably going to look to jump somehow, I would guess. I don't know how smart that is from him because there's a lot of pressure here. But our Winston's probably going to try to look to jump, right? So we want to shoot from an angle that is different to him. You kind of walk away this way as the Sig shoots you. I think I'd prefer if you walked behind the cover. Walk behind the pillar, right? And then as we're engaging, as stuff is happening, we can peek and shoot from here, right? We can also, we don't need to be as scared to initiate contact, right? Because we are Cass, we're a little bit, you know, tougher, but we were at low health. So if we're at full health and have roll, we can even peek here without other stuff, right? With Junkrat, it's very important. Your timing is extremely important. It's extremely important to shoot from your off angle as other stuff is happening. It's extremely important to shoot from your off angle as, you know, your tank is in, as enemies are diving, as you're diving, something like that, right? Because then the attention is not split on you. With Cassidy, you can afford a little bit more attention on yourself. Now, you obviously don't want to go in 1v5, right? But you can afford a little bit more attention. So you can just peek from here to shoot at somebody. You could peek, you know, over here to shoot at somebody, right? You have two peeking options. You can walk to point if you need to, if that opportunity presents itself as well, okay? So it's kind of the same thing. You're kind of stacking with your team a lot instead of taking, you know, that angle. I don't mind this. This is good. This is good. This is good. Yeah. The difference here between face planting the Sig and before is that this time there's a monkey. What is that skin? I've never seen. I don't think I've seen that before. That's so cool. Anyway, is that there is a monkey making it much more difficult for him to get healed, right? And he has so many targets, right? He's completely surrounded, right? So it's not like he would just hit you by a wrong cast, by dealing that, by, you know, just dealing damage to somebody else. And the moment we get pressure, we get out. Okay, that was good. I think that was good. I think that was good. I think is the very important part here. Unlucky we don't get the kill. And I think now we were being a bit greedy. Maybe the Sig could have punished that, but it's whatever. I see we're very intent on killing the Echo. We're not respecting the Sigma enough, I think, overall. Sigma does a lot of damage. Okay. Anyway, I've already spent like 40 minutes on the first 5 minutes. Do you play Genji here later, or is it just Cass?
I'm not sure actually. That was like 3 days ago.
Okay. Let's look at this next fight. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No. No.
Okay. So look. Okay. So the fight is going to be happening around here. At least your tank wants that. Your carrier wants that. Where do you think you should be positioned about that?
In the room on the right?
Like over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. You can also just be here. You can be here. These are all fine because these are all different angles, right, that we can take. I think what's important is that we sort of go from one to the other. So maybe we start here. If we get pressured, we go over here, or we go over here, right? What's important though, I think. Oh, their Sigma's dead. Okay. Well, when Sigma's back, because I assume they wait for their Sig, I hope, is that we don't peak to deal damage before our tank and or Kiri do the same thing, because otherwise the Sig is going to shoot at us for free. That's what I want to see you do here. Okay, Sigma should be back any moment now. Yeah. We do walk away immediately. Oh, I thought that would still get you. Okay. I was gonna say maybe we're walking too far forward, but maybe that was actually worth it. That was cool. That was good.
I tried to flashbang him to get him off our Ana.
Yeah, out of the ult. And it worked.
That.
It worked.
Yeah.
Did
not. The Ana died.
It didn't? But we gotta wait,
Did
what?
it?
I guess it was too late.
He was too far.
Because we got a hit marker. It was just a moment too late, yeah. Because we got the hit marker. Okay. It's kind of unlucky. We tried to do a thing. It didn't work out. Whatever. Go next. I don't care. Oh. There we go. Oh, we're back. Okay, we're back on Junkrat. Real quick. What have I been saying? What do you do on Junkrat? Where do you go? How do you position?
High ground, flank, and cover.
Yep, small rooms. Small rooms. High grounds, high grounds are small rooms, if possible, both, of course. High grounds are small rooms. Flanks, make sure you have cover, right? You need to be safe. This is fine so far. Just don't die. Kind of stacking with our other DPS. I would like to see you start walking left here instead of continuing to shoot. Yeah, because we're sort of walking like the sideline of the Sig and the Cass, we're taking a lot of damage, right? If instead of just like small difference, if instead of walking like this, we walked like this, right? We can avoid more damage. I'm trying to start wrapping this up a little bit. It's kind of the same. We're a bit far away. Okay, I like this a bit more. Okay, I mean, this is just clean up. We use a bunch of ults. Okay, whatever. Go next. Good dodge. Okay. Same. We're not respecting the Sig here with the peak because, yeah, we can deal damage. We shoot one bullet. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We shoot a single bullet. It's fine. But I think I would prefer if instead of, sort of just shooting a bullet and chilling around here waiting, we walked into here, right? Do you see this angle, right? Maybe we try taking high ground, right? Maybe that's risky. Maybe there's an echo. Maybe we try walking into the right room, right? We could have already been here, right? We could have already been in any of these positions. Anything other than, just down main with our Surge. We're kind of just like praying we hit the echo, right? So you see, you're not really doing anything from this position, right?
Yeah.
None of your shots are landing. You have to use a conk. You have to get out. Go left. Go left. Oh, oh. Oh, I went back too far. So, we use a conk to get out. But here, okay, hold on. So here, okay, Sig's attention isn't on you. Echo's attention is no attention on you, right? Walk over here. Now, yes, there's a Cass here, but if we're walking over here, we can shoot him and like shoot him and shoot him. Then maybe we can flank and shoot here, right? And the Sig just started looking at us, but theoretically, if we're here, it should be really difficult for him to hit us. Maybe if instead of walking forward like this, you walk over here, but you're kind of stacking, you know, just on the main, like, you know, down main a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do you play any more Cassidy? You play some Genji? I think I'm gonna stick to just Cassidy and Junkrat now for today. I can coach Genji as well, but okay. Yeah, Genji. Guessing we stay Genji for the rest. Okay, there's some more Cass here. Okay, we're going Winston Nano. Okay, well, we get 2 ults on us. Just whatever. Okay, go next. You went high ground, you got ulted twice. I smell no angles. I smell... Even in this cleanup, right? If instead of just walking down main, you had been walking a little bit more left, could be shooting at the Mercy, could be shooting at the Sig without, you know, shield or something, right? I mean, obviously, everybody's already dead, right? But... Okay, we have a tendency to kind of walk down or just stick to main. I want you to practice trying to take different angles. You really think about the effective range of your hero, how close you need to be to something to shoot it, and try playing at positions that enable that and that are safe for you. Ideally safe for you, you know? Junkrat needs more safety than Cassidy does, right? Cassidy has roll, right? Cassidy's just a little bit chunkier, right? He doesn't have the 25 health anymore, but you know, he can stay a bit farther back. He should stay a bit farther back. He can be a little bit more, you know, peaky, I guess would be the word. And Joker needs to be safe, but has so much damage, right? So I think you need to be practicing. You want to take different angles, different positions, right? You want to not go main every fight. Here and there, it's fine. But try avoiding going down main, right? Try to go left, try to go right. Try to approach the core fight from other directions. Now for Junkrat, you need to be closer. For Cassidy, you can be a little bit farther away. You know, for Junkrat, you know, whatever, you can be even be inside the circle. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Right? What else did we talk about? I'm blanking. We didn't respect their Sig a lot. Yeah, respect threats, right? I'm going to guess that it's not just specifically Sig. It's going to be heroes that are dangerous to us in general. Respect threats and sightlines. So if we want to go for a clip, make sure we do it from an angle, right? An approach, a pathing, where we're not getting looked at as much. If we want to shoot at something, it's kind of the same thing. We need to respect the threats to us. So On Junkrat, you really want to respect the Echo, right? Very important. Echo can annihilate you. You can't really fight back a lot of the time if there's a little bit of distance. So how do you respect the Echo? You avoid the Echo. You play in small rooms, right? On Cassidy, you want to respect the Sigma. How do you do that? You don't shoot at him and look at him while you are like essentially the only thing for him to shoot at, because you don't want to trade damage with a tank typically, because if he deals 100 damage to you, that's nearly half your health. If you deal 100 damage to him, that's nothing. He's got shields within that range. He'll just heal that back. He has a big wall he can put up, right? So shoot at shoot at your threats while they're distracted, essentially. Ideally, it's not always, right? Nothing I say is gospel. Everything I told you today could have been a lie. Some parts of it, small details especially, because I'm not like some professional cast player, okay? I'm, even for Junkrat, I'm not top 500, right? I'm not GM. I'm really good at the game, admittedly, I think. I'm at a high rank. I've gotten there through blood, sweat, and tears. And I know a lot about the game. I like coaching the game. But I am not an end-all be-all. Everything I say, you need to take with a small grain of salt, because I could be wrong. But I need you to try. The general lesson should be correct. And you need to try the things I tell you, And then maybe if you try them 100 times and find out they don't work, then they probably don't work. All right. So yeah, and then sightlines, approach, flanks, or clips jumping in from sightlines, from pathing where you're not as seen. Any questions?
No questions.
No questions?
All clear.
Okay. As always, my DMs are open all the time, anytime. If you ever have any questions, if you ever do have any questions, you can message me them. If ever, you want to have, another session, you think you could take another look, you think you've habitualized, incorporated some of these things,